Welcome to Nomcast, where we take a deep dive into your food and splash around to see what we can find. I'm your host, Alice Zaslavsky, and today we're slicing open a juicy, delicious fruit to find out what's inside. Melons! Before we get started, I want to ask everyone to check if their brains are switched on and fully charged, because there'll be a quiz at the end.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Fruit Box. It's Monday. John? Or Wednesday. Who knows? We've got a great show lined up for you today, exploring the wild and wonderful world of melons. From summery watermelon to tart honeydew, these fruits have been a favorite for thousands of years. Who's a summer favorite with delicious juicy flesh? This guy! Let's get into it.
Okay, so you've probably seen a bunch of kinds of melon. After all, there are more than 1,200 different types. And unlike other fruits like apples and oranges, types of melons can look pretty different. A watermelon is green on the outside and pink on the inside, with a sort of crumbly texture and dark black seeds. Some of them are even seedless. There's the bitter melon from India, which is long and green and sometimes spiky. People often cook with it in savoury dishes. But cantaloupes, which you might call a rockmelon, are round like a basketball with rough, lizardy skin and firm orange flesh. So there are heaps of alternatives, but what makes them a melon? Melons are part of the gourd family, which also includes veggies like squash, pumpkins and cucumbers. Botanists, plant scientists, disagree about whether a watermelon is a fruit or a vegetable. Some say it's a fruit because it holds the seeds, but others say it's a veggie because of the way it grows. Actually, biologically, a melon is a berry. They mostly grow in warm climates and need fertile soil with plenty of water. You'll find them hanging out on vines, often with curly, squirrely tendrils shooting off them. Melon plants have male and female flowers. Male flowers have a stamen, which is a pollen-covered stalk, and female flowers have a sticky knob called a stigma that the pollen sticks to. Bees and other insects like ants pollinate them when they visit a male flower and then head on over to a female flower. You can do this manually or with a paintbrush, but you have to buzz while you do it. Well, you don't have to, but it's more fun if you do. Okay, so that's what makes a melon a melon. But where did they come from? Well, different melons have different stories to tell, so let's explore one of the most popular varieties. Which one do you think of when someone says melon? The watermelon? Me too! Watermelons are an important part of our summers today, a perfect after-school snack, and even better when you cut that slice so it looks like a big smile. The kind of smile you'll have when you eat it. Where do you think sweet watermelons come from? They seem like they might come from some tropical oasis. White sandy beaches, bright umbrellas, and watermelons, right? Nope. Actually, they're native to Africa, and people have been cultivating them for thousands of years, from around the time of the pharaohs. How cool is that? Remains of the seeds have been found dating back more than 5,000 years. Pictures of these oblong-shaped, stripy fruits can even be seen in Egyptian friezes, which are paintings or engravings in the pyramids. Unlike the cantaloupe, which has only been around since the 1700s, watermelons have a long and interesting history.
Thanks to today's sponsor, Noncastorium, for making this show possible. I went online to their video library and wow, I learned so much. You might know the Egyptians worshipped many different gods. One of those was Nut, the goddess of the sky and heavens. And if you squint at the dark skin of some melons, You might just see the night sky twinkling with distant stars. Or you might just see a melon. Now, back to the show.
Today's watermelon is sweet, juicy and colourful, but it wasn't always like that. It started out as a hard, white fruit that tasted bland or even bitter. The sweet dessert watermelon is the result of domestication. That's when growers select plants for the characteristics you love, like sweetness, and try to make it happen on purpose, instead of letting watermelons grow in the wild in random ways they would otherwise. Over generations, farmers of the South Nile in what is now Sudan selected the sweet pink smile we know today. About the time they were domesticating animals like cats. You can see them in Egyptian friezes too. When the Romans conquered Egypt in 30 BC, they couldn't wait to take watermelons to show everyone at home. So, they did. That was a really, really long time ago, and the watermelon has kept on changing ever since. Have you noticed that today's watermelons don't have seeds? Domestication is how farmers bred them that way. All of this history makes melons a versatile, delicious snack you can find everywhere in Australia. But in some parts of the world, they're rare and expensive, like precious jewels.
Have we got a great deal for you today? You think you've tried delicious sweet cantaloupe, but these gourmet melons coming out of Japan will take your culinary experience to the next level. Introducing today's offer, the Yubari King, a hybrid of two types of cantaloupe. It's grown exclusively in volcanic ash soil in greenhouses in the small city of Yubari. As you can see, these stunning melons are perfectly round with flawlessly smooth outer skin. I can see my own reflection. Delivered to you in a wooden gift box, these flavorful, juicy treats could be yours for the special today-only price of $25,000. Is that right? Can someone check the auto cue? I don't know about this. This is crazy to me.
It's true. In Japan, some melons are a serious delicacy. In 2019, a Tokyo company bought a pair of Yubari King melons for more than $50,000. That's a pretty extreme example, but even a juicy watermelon could cost you about $80 in Japan. And they're not just oval or round, like the ones you'd commonly see here. Over there, you can find watermelons that are square, pyramid, and even heart-shaped. They turn this yummy fruit into salads, breakfast bowls, pizzas, and frozen icy desserts. Itadakimasu! That's what they say in Japan before eating. So, melons have been delighting people with their deliciousness for thousands of years, from the evolution of sweet watermelons in ancient Egypt to prized square guys in Japan today. And it's no surprise that melons are also really good for you. They can be a great source of vitamin C, vitamin A, and some B vitamins, as well as fibre, potassium, and folate. Some melons also contain an antioxidant called lycopene, which can be good for your heart and for keeping your eyes healthy. They have a high water content, so they can help you stay hydrated too.
Can confirm a very high water content.
In fact, that's how they were used in ancient times. Remember those people who loved melons so long ago? Some researchers think they actually used the fruit like a drink bottle. They had so much water inside the melon, and they came complete with their own kind of bladder, their skin. That kept the water inside without worrying about it sloshing around. They'd take these melons across the desert, carrying them on camels or horses, and when they got thirsty, they could just crack one open and eat the hydrating fruit inside. With all this logic and ingenuity, it's no wonder that people say, when it's time to get smart, you better use your melon. That's your head. All right, let's use your melon for the quiz. Question 1. Is a melon a fruit or a vegetable? Question 2. Who cultivated the fruit that became dessert watermelon? Question 3. When was the cantaloupe first cultivated? Question 4. How much did a pair of Yubari King melons sell for in Japan in 2019? Question 5. Who was the ancient Egyptian goddess of the sky? Question 6. What are some of the nutritional benefits of melons? Ready for your answers? All right. A melon is a berry, so it's a fruit. Question 2. The fruit that became dessert watermelon was cultivated by the ancient Egyptians. Answer 3. The cantaloupe was first cultivated in the 1700s. Answer 4. A pair of Yubari King melons sold in Japan for more than $50,000. Answer 5. The ancient Egyptian goddess of the sky was Nut. Answer 6. The nutritional benefits of melons include high water content, vitamins and minerals, and antioxidants. How did you do? Well, that's all we have time for. Until next time! This podcast has been funded by Hort Innovation using the avocado, citrus, melon and raspberry and blackberry research and development levies and funds from the Australian Government. For more information, visit horticulture.com.au.